Welcome to Work Reborn, live from Barcelona, brought to you by Lenovo. Work Reborn is a research series surveying over 600 senior IT leaders worldwide to uncover the key to creating a productive digital workplace. Last report, we talked about using AI to work smarter and stay safer. Now we're moving from AI readiness to AI reality, where technology and human connection are reshaping how we work and thrive in this new era of work, or as we like to call it, Work Reborn. Let's get started. Hey, Scott, welcome back to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me again.
I am so pleased you're here. Tell me a little bit about your time in Barcelona so far. Have you been enjoying this activation and event with our team?
Absolutely. I think that the event is a great showcase of what FIFA and Lenovo are doing and what Lenovo is trying to achieve with AI for enterprises. It's really a testament to the expansion of the portfolio into the services and solutions market. And Lenovo is positioned to really accelerate enterprises in terms of IT adoption, change management, as well as AI adoption.
Talk to me a little bit about why you think Lenovo and FIFA are good partners together, and just generally, what are we actually doing? Like, what is the partnership that we have?
Absolutely. So it's a great showcase of two of the largest organizations in the world, right? The powerhouse of Lenovo, beyond just the devices from an IT standpoint, and FIFA World Cup, which is one of the largest sporting events in the world, which is a testament to, I think, the flexibility, the scale, and the robust offerings that Lenovo is providing for FIFA. One of the key elements of the partnership would be our digital workplace solution activation with FIFA, where we're actually working with the FIFA organization to elevate their employee experience, to completely outfit them with new devices, new IT services, really managing the endpoints, not only in the stadiums, but also for the headquarters and for the FIFA employees throughout the world.
That's a really great use case. And I think from the conversations that I've had on the podcast before, that's something a lot of leaders are looking to see. It's not just, okay, we have tools, we have AI, we have widgets. Like, what are ways that these processes are actually being implemented? And how can we see ourselves in that journey?
Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to show is give a really powerful use case of what AI is or what's possible with AI. A lot of organizations from the research that we've seen are saying that, yes, they know they need to invest in AI. Yes, AI is important, but they don't have a vision or a roadmap in where they're trying to go. Everybody wants to be faster, more productive, automate, mundane tasks and repetitive processes. But beyond that, how do you elevate the employee experience? How do you actually make your employees feel empowered and have the right devices, services, and software to be the best versions of themselves?
So you think at this point, AI and IT are just forever combined?
I think you can't have one without the other, right? So AI is going to permeate all areas of enterprise eventually, right? Really streamlining operations, really making that machine learning provide insights beyond just what humans can do, right? Having all of the data will give organizations the view, right, of how to change, how to optimize, how to get better. However, to actually achieve that and to actually implement AI, you have to have the IT side of it, right? From the cloud to data centers to hybrid cloud to the device to the services that make it all work, even the change management with the employees, which is showcasing how to use the technology, right? That's something that Lenovo can provide and is actively doing not only for FIFA, but for other clients throughout the world.
Yeah, so I really want to dive into that a little deeper because according to the research that we found, 83% of IT leaders, they want that next level. They agree that the predictive and proactive resolution is key in the digital workspace. Like, they want that next level of service and operative capacity. But only 21% of the 600 senior IT leaders that we interviewed have actually achieved this ideal. So, in your opinion, what's really standing in the way of bridging that gap, and what small step do you think they can take to, really close it and move the industry closer to that ideal?
Absolutely. I think what we're seeing is People know they need to invest in AI. They know that it's going to come and change their operations, but they don't have the use cases necessary to justify the large investments, right?
Right.
It is a large investment to have AI come in and automate those processes. It is a large investment to have it actually change your organization. However, the results are shown and being proven continuously that it reduces cost or optimizes cost, it increases productivity, it reduces some of the strain across employees so that they can focus on the big matter innovation, challenges that an organization has versus spending a lot of time doing data entry or some mundane repetitive
Yeah.
tasks. I think for organizations to bridge the gap, right? And we up that 21%, to the 70, 80% and really have organizations adopt AI. Two things are needed. One, you have to have a vision of what you want to achieve, right? What is your
Hmm.
end goal from a business outcome standpoint? The second is that you have to have a partner network that's going to be flexible, it's going to be an expert in the field, and is going to have proven use cases that organizations can take and use to influence their vision, and then actually have a partner to come in and help them deploy, deliver, and actually scale their AI across
Okay,
the
but I want to
organization.
stop you there because that is a huge barrier to entry, though. The IT leaders that don't have the use cases yet, they're not getting the buy in
Right.
from C suite. Like, how would you advise them on where they can even start? Because, like, really tactically, like, this is a really big endeavor. It's completely reshaping the landscape within any enterprise. So, like, where do you even start?
Well, Lenovo would be a great place to start initially. We're developing what we call the AI library, which is a number of use cases on how to implement AI across different market verticals or different use cases. Everything from manufacturing to implementing AI into robotics and using vision learning so that you can make manufacturing plants safer, so that you can ensure the safety or make sure that everything is working in places that may be too hazardous for employees.
Interesting.
So there's many use cases. However, what we're finding is some of those use cases don't result in the ROI that
Mm.
organizations need to justify that investment.
But
Lenovo,
isn't it a long-term investment?
it
Like
is.
that would just be like I think to right when the industrial revolution of just the second one where we just introduced internet or the computer, like the beginning of that time when it was like such a primitive offering and people trying it for the first time and going, yeah, I don't need this computer doohickey or whatever. And I know that sounds like cliche or antiquated, but in a way history repeats itself, and I feel like that's where we're at right now.
Absolutely. I would equate it to even more recent developments,
Okay.
specifically around the cloud, right? So
Mm.
cloud adoption was at first slow, right? However, now we're seeing mass adoption across the cloud. Everybody understands now how to implement the cloud into their organization and how that can make collaboration easier, how that makes productivity better. It also has some security implications, right? When you're making sure that your data is being in a trusted cloud provided by one of the major cloud providers, which we're partnered with as well. But it's similar to the AI adoption in that there will be some slow learning curves for organizations. However, as those use cases and we start to see roadmaps come out even more in terms of how organizations can implement AI to actually achieve their business outcomes, we'll start to see the adoption pick up.
Mm.
However, it's going to take time. It is a long-term investment. And that's why the roadmap and vision is so important, because if you don't understand where you're trying to get in the long term, you can waste a lot of money and you won't have that ROI that you're trying to achieve.
And I also think that there's something to be said about maybe benefits that are tangential to the ROI, which is that employee experience. Because if
Absolutely.
you can enhance the employee experience, maybe we're not saying A plus B equals X amount of dollars, but you're setting the stage in order for that to be possible in the future.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought that up. Lenovo's developed a unique IP. We call it the Care of One, which takes in all the organizational data. It aggregates all the users, device health, the software health, but we can also drill in and understand what personas that organization has. Based on those personas, everybody has unique needs. A content creator is going to have a different need of software services than, say, an administrator or a salesperson.
Right.
We can identify using the organizational data what those personas are. make recommendations using AI based on what devices would be optimized for them or would be the best fit for them, what software and services are the best fit, and really provide that unique employee experience that's personalized to the employee, giving them the care that they need and allowing them to be the best versions of themselves. To your point, once they have less challenges, less pain points across IT, devices, software, services, they can become the most productive version and then really start to use their talents for big ticket innovation advancements versus just, day-to-day tasks.
Absolutely. So, what is the biggest takeaway? We're end of this quarter, end of this year, that a CIO or CTO should really be considering as we start year two of this new environment that we're in. I think AI is not going away, but I don't think it's going to be like the fun, exciting thing anymore. That's like top of mind that we're all buzzing about. I think I view it as we shifted from AI readiness to AI reality.
Correct.
What do you think is important to keep in mind and top of mind for the next few months?
There's still a lot of advancements happening. We still don't know what we don't know, right? When it comes to AI. Similar to how the web was initially Web 1.0, right? Very basic to Web 2.0 to now even almost Web 3.0 with blockchain and some of the different developments that have happened around crypto and those things. However, with AI, I do see that there being a phased approach, right? We started with Gen AI, right? It's really generative. Now we're looking at agentic AI. We don't know what that next development will be, but to your point, organizations need to do, I think, a couple of things to make sure that they're ready for next year. One, understands their readiness for AI. Where are they on the AI adoption curve? And once they've identified really where they are and where they want to go, understanding that they'll need a key partner to help them get to that end vision. And I think Lenovo is poised to help a lot of organizations achieve that.
Well said, Scott. Thank you so much for breaking down where we're at right now in our journey from FIFA to understanding what is important to leaders right now and how they should be looking ahead. Do you mind shouting out our Work Reborn report for us? Do you think people could maybe learn from it?
Absolutely. If organizations are interested in some of the research and some of the voices of the market and what they're saying about AI, we have a Work Reborn report. We have 3 reports out right now on our Lenovo.com Digital Workplace Solutions webpage. I recommend anybody go out, download the reports. They're free and has a lot of good insights as well as some key takeaways that may help those organizations shape their strategies for the future.
And if anyone has questions, hit us up, or you.
Please do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for listening. And that wraps it up for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to Work Reborn, powered by Lenovo. Lenovo is turning readiness into reality, empowering people, technology, and businesses to move forward together. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Apple or Spotify to continue the conversation on how we're bringing new life to the modern workplace. Thanks for watching. Lenovo.